Clarissa Wilson is one of the 80,000 plus Australians who have a passion for running, rising every morning to coach at her self-made original boot camp in Balmain. Like many, she will do whatever she can to avoid the injuries that inevitably plague an athlete and will keep her off the track. For runners, the current miracle to reduce injury is the resurgence of barefoot running. In the last 4 years, profit has shot up around $50 million for the largest manufacturer of minimalist shoes, in part helped by Australians. The running shoe industry is worth a considerable amount of money, but the $14 billion question is whether we might be better off exercising in the soles we were born with.
Barefoot running, look, I think that there's definitely a place for barefoot running in running and in a boot camp situation as well. The danger, I guess, is that people just read one article on it and then get excited and head out and get their first pair of shoes, strap them on, and then use them as they normally would a shoe. And they need to realise that you can't do it like that. You need to sort of ease yourself into it, do 5 to 10 minutes a day with it, and then progress into it.
It's the popularity of barefoot running that has seen an influx of patients to Dr. Andrew Bull of Sydney Sports Podiatry, based in Circular Quay. His clinic focuses on determining issues with running style and bone structure, and prescribes an orthotic or shoe to remedy the problem once diagnosed.
The biggest difference is when you have to use your body as the primary shock absorber, not relying on shoes, you have to function very efficiently. It does make you shorten your stride, it makes you increase your cadence, you don't smash the ground as much, so you actually start to feel the ground better, you do pronate or absorb shock more correctly with your own body.
Dr. Bull believes that the trend of barefoot running disregards the individuality of a runner and works on the false assumption that the activity is invariably good.
Modern running shoes let Joe Average, who doesn't run very often, who sits at a desk a lot, potentially run occasionally. The majority of people running don't run elite. Okay, elites constitute less than 1% of the runners.
World record holder Keith Bateman is part of this 1%. 63 now, he picked up running at a relatively late age and was able to quickly find success and sponsorship thanks to the principles of barefoot running.
A lot of the good runners and my coach run barefoot. A lot of top runners run barefoot in training because it's faster and it strengthens your feet, offsets what's happened with everyday shoes which support the feet and weaken them. And a foot is a very good spring for running. And you may as well be strong.
Bateman believes that the use of orthotics is unnatural and that if the initial transition towards shoelessness is done correctly, the change will result in some marked improvement.
Well, it's something everybody did. Everybody ran barefoot until they were, some people would say, corrupted, or their technique was corrupted. Their technique was corrupted by the fact that they stopped running, and two, that they wear shoes that are very difficult to lift because they're so heavy, and running is all about lifting. They provide cushioning, which is not required if you run well. And they raise the heel of the shoe, which changes the heel of your foot, which changes your stance, which also makes it difficult to run well. So a modern day running shoe is built to make you run badly. And there's no indication that shoes actually save injuries. People say there's no indication that barefoot saves injuries, but then we should be starting from the barefoot.
Clarissa Wilson's assistant drill sergeant at the boot camp, Clay Smoot, is one of the many Australians who rushed into barefoot running. He has these words of warning to give.
I did it the bad way. I saw the 5 fingers, everyone was saying how great it was, so I just threw them on and I started running, and my Achilles was so sore for like 2 weeks. However, the big problem that people generally have with barefoot running is that they discover the barefoot running and then they jump straight into it. Little they know they've had 20 years running with 4 or 5 mil of foam underneath their shoe, and then suddenly they get those problems. So it's a fantastic thing when done right.
Cameron Whalen reporting for Game On Magazine.